Joseph Parker fans, Anthony Joshua fans. You know, I hate to be that guy. I hate to be that guy to talk about the elephant in the room. I really do, man. You know, I hate to be that guy. I hate to make everybody who watches this video think about this elephant in the room. But, you know, I have to be that guy because I don't see no one talking about this. You know, because lately I've been looking at a lot of uploaders' videos doing predictions, you know, because, you know, a bunch of I haven't done this in a while. I haven't taken the time to look at other uploaders' videos and see what their opinion is about Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker. So in the past few days, I've been actually doing that and watching, and I have to say, a lot of you guys making some good videos, making some good long ass breakdown videos, and they're good, and I agree with a lot of them. But a lot of you guys are just talking about, you know, the technical side of it. You know, well, if Joshua does this, he should win, or if Parker does this, he should win. Right? They're just talking about the styles, you know. But they're not talking about the elephant in the room. And they're not talking about the real reason why Joseph Parker has no chance in hell on beating and dethroning Anthony Joshua. And that is, let's face it, this fight's happening in England, people. Alright? That's the elephant in the room. And that's the real reason why Anthony Joshua will indefinitely win this fight. Regardless. I know people don't like when I talk about stuff like this, because they feel like you're accusing their home country of, you know, being, you know, dodgy and giving the other, you know, them hometown advantages. I'm not accusing the UK of being anything. I'm just saying in boxing, there's stuff called, you know, boxing isn't fair. Let's just put it that way. If you're a big name, it doesn't matter what country you're from. If you're a big name, you're gonna get the benefit of the doubt. This happens in every country, whether it's the UK, whether it's, you know, America. Anthony Joshua is the A side, okay? The A side. Anthony Joshua is, I think he's the highest paid boxer in England, right? I don't think anyone's is as popular as Anthony Joshua is at this very moment. So Anthony Joshua is the star. Joseph Parker is going to his backyard. He's going to defend his WBO strap against Anthony Joshua. Do you honestly think, in his backyard, do you honestly think that they're going to give Joseph Parker the benefit of the doubt if this fight goes the distance? Because I'm telling you right now, Joseph Parker is not going to knock out Anthony Joshua. The only way Joseph Parker is going to beat Anthony Joshua is via decision. Because this fight will go the distance if Joseph Parker is going to win the fight. You know, like I said, I don't see him stopping Anthony Joshua. I don't think Joseph Parker is the puncher that everybody thought he was. I don't think he's the puncher that me and you thought he was. I think he's a decent puncher, but I don't think he's nothing special at heavyweight. And unfortunately, kind of like with Canelo Alvarez, you need that in order to beat someone like Joshua in his backyard. Therefore, I think the only way he could be able to beat someone like Joshua is going the decision and leaving it to the judges. But it's not going to happen because they're not going to give Joseph Parker the decision, even if he deserves to win the decision. You know what I'm saying? I know what you're going to say. Well, Joseph Parker fought Hughie Fury in England, and they gave it to him. You know, they didn't rob Joseph Parker. They didn't give the strap to Hughie Fury. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Hughie Fury, nobody cares about him in England. Newsflash. Nobody in England cares about Hughie Fury. He's not Anthony Joshua. You cannot compare Hughie Fury to Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is a megastar. Hughie Fury, no one cares about him. That's why the fight was streamed on YouTube, because no one cared about. And mind you, the fight happened in the UK, but it was still streamed on YouTube. No one cares about Hughie Fury. Joseph Parker is from what? New Zealand? Let me tell you something right now. The only people who know who Joseph Parker is are hardcore boxing fans. And I would say boxing fans from New Zealand. That's it. Maybe 10 people in the United States know who Joseph Parker is. And the majority of those people are all uploaders who are from the United States. And maybe a handful of people in the UK know who he is. And all those people are just hardcore boxing fans. Casual boxing fans don't know about Joseph Parker. But casual boxing fans do know who Anthony Joshua is. You see what I'm saying? So there's no way they're going to rob the cash. There's no way they're going to give the decision over the cash king of the heavyweight division in his backyard in England, wherever the fight happens. I don't know what section of England is going to happen, but they're not going to give it to Joseph Parker, man. It's not going to happen. Even if he outboxes or manages to win some rounds against Anthony Joshua. I believe that Anthony Joshua is going to be one of those guys that you have to knock him out. It's kind of like Canelo Alvarez. You can't beat Canelo Alvarez via decision. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I mean, it's just not going to happen. The only one who's managed to do it so far was Floyd, and he barely got away with doing it. Floyd Mayweather Jr., that is. So I think Joshua is one of those guys that you have to knock him out because he's such a big deal in England. And again, I'm not saying it's Joshua's fault. I'm not saying, oh, you know, this just comes with the territory. When you're a big star like that, judges, you know, they're influenced by the crowd. And they're going to be, you know, and of course, this guy is the guy who brings the dough. So they're going to be favoring him. Just like Canelo. Canelo Alvarez, he brings the dough. He fights in Las Vegas. He brings the dough. He makes the money. So they always favor him. They always give him the benefit of the doubt. They always give him, you know, the benefit of the doubt. And that's why you always see people saying, man, this guy, even though he clearly loses rounds, they have him like winning every single round. A lot of these judges, man. So I just want you guys to think about that for a second. I don't think the fight's going to go the distance. I don't think Anthony Joshua is going to necessarily blow out Joseph Parker. But I also don't think it's going to go the distance. I think this fight's going to last over 8 rounds. I think it's going to end in the later rounds. Again, this whole thing that I'm saying might be totally irrelevant. It's just my opinion at the end of the day. It's my opinion. Alright? It's not a fact. It's just an opinion. Okay? But this might be totally irrelevant. Maybe Anthony Joshua just knocks out Joseph Parker and you would have never seen, you know, it go to the judge's hands. And they would have never robbed Joseph Parker. But again, I'm just saying, I'm just letting you Kiwi boxing fans out there realize that that's just not the way it works, you know? Because I see a lot of you guys saying stuff like, you know, talking about breaking down the styles, you know, breaking down the styles. Well, if he could outbox Anthony Joshua. But yeah, but you have to think about the fact that he's not. No one cares about Joseph Parker in the UK. They don't care about him. They care about Anthony Joshua. They don't care about Joseph Parker in the UK. It's the truth. They don't. And you have to realize that. So, you know, You guys are thinking logically, and you know, you're not thinking cynical, right? Like me, I guess I'm a cynical guy, but you guys are thinking logically. Oh well, if everything's fair, he could just outbox Anthony Joshua, and they'll give him the decision, and he'll be the unified champion. But you can't think logically like that and fair like that when it comes to boxing. You have to realize that boxing cares about money. That's it. They don't care about the fans. They don't care if the fighter actually won. They care about money. They care about who's the bigger draw. That's why you have to have that in the back of your mind when you look at these big fights, these big unification fights. Who's the bigger draw? Who? Joshua or Parker? Joshua. So think to yourselves, even if you think he has the ability, Parker, I'm not saying he doesn't, but even if you're a hardcore Joseph Parker fan, even if you think he has the ability to outbox Anthony Joshua, think to yourself, will they in the UK give it to Joshua, give it to Parker? You know, and if you really think about it, you'll realize that the answer is no. I'm out.